You know, we always hear about how failure is like the end, right?
Yeah.
It's game over.
Yeah.
But what if it's actually just the beginning? What if it's like the on-ramp to something really amazing? Welcome to the deep dive.
I love that analogy, the on-ramp
Yeah.
to something bigger.
Today we're going to dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship and look at the power of failure.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. And we've got these incredible stories, narratives of people who, you know, didn't just like trip on their way to success. They actually used their falls to like climb higher.
Yeah, they stumbled, but they used that stumble to propel themselves forward.
Yeah. And that's what we want to do in this deep dive for you listening, is to pull out those key insights, those strategies, and be like, okay, how can you use this stuff in your own life?
Yeah, make it actionable, right?
Yeah, make it actionable to turn your setbacks into like launching pads, right? Like springboard.
I love it.
Okay, so think about this.
Okay.
Steve Jobs
Okay.
gets kicked out of Apple, the company he built, right?
Huge failure, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's over. Like, what do you do after
Yeah,
that?
where'd he go from there?
But he comes back and he like reshapes the entire tech world.
Totally changes the game.
Then you have J.K. Rowling.
Okay, yeah.
Just tons of rejections for Harry Potter. Like, can you imagine?
It's hard to imagine a world without Harry Potter now.
I know. It's crazy. And Walt Disney, you know, he was told he lacked creativity.
What? Walt Disney? No way.
Yeah, that always blows my mind.
All those amazing characters and stories, unbelievable.
And even Henry Ford, right? Mr. Automobile.
Yeah. Model T, everything.
His first two car companies failed.
Wow, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, and these weren't just little hiccups. These were big, like, crashes.
Yeah, those are big setbacks for sure.
It really makes you think about what failure means.
It does. It totally reframes it.
Yeah.
Like what we think of as a failure, these people used as fuel.
Yeah. And it's not just that they, like, bounced back. It's that the failure itself was, like, the secret ingredient.
Yeah, it's like it forced them to grow.
Yeah, adapt, reevaluate, and, like, they came back way stronger.
Makes you think, how can we do that in our own lives, right?
That's the question.
How can we change our perspective on failure?
Yeah, and that's what all this material is about.
Okay, so what do we got?
One of the biggest things that stands out is this idea of, like, embracing failure. Like, it's feedback.
Okay.
So it's not about being like, woe is me, why did this happen? It's more like, okay, what happened? What can I learn from this? What could I do differently next time?
So it's like data, right? Instead of this judgment on you, it's just information.
Yeah, it's like clues.
Clues, yeah.
And you can use those clues to improve.
I like that. Okay, so instead of personalizing it, you analyze it.
Exactly.
Like you would data from an experiment.
Yeah.
And that can actually be powerful, turning that pain into a practical lesson.
Okay, so building on that, the next thing is, how do we respond to that information, that feedback?
Right, because we're going to make mistakes, we're going to have setbacks.
All the time. That's
Yeah.
part of it.
And that's where resilience comes in.
Yeah, you're going to face obstacles, roadblocks, but it's your ability to be like, okay, I'm going to absorb that, learn from it, and keep moving forward.
And not be crippled by the fear of failing again.
Exactly, because that's what stops a lot of people. They're so afraid to fail, they never even try.
And resilience is interesting because it's not like you either have it or you don't.
Right.
It's something you can actually develop.
Totally, like a muscle.
Right. The more you face those challenges, the stronger you become.
And the more you realize you can survive setbacks.
And that can make you more confident, more willing to take risks.
So now, let's say you're super resilient. You're learning from your mistakes. But what if the path you're on is just wrong?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Then what do? You got to pivot.
You got to be able to recognize that and be flexible enough to change direction.
Yeah, like Reid Hoffman, his first venture, SocialNet.
Okay. Yeah.
Didn't really take off like he thought it would.
Didn't quite hit the mark.
But the things he learned from that about online communities, they directly led to LinkedIn.
Which is huge now.
So even though it wasn't like a huge public failure, it wasn't a success either.
Right. It wasn't what he wanted it to be.
But he was able to take those lessons and be like, okay, I'm going to use this to create something even better.
And that's a great question for all of us.
Yeah.
Are we so stuck on our original idea that we're missing signs?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like maybe we need to change something or even go in a totally new direction.
Sometimes the biggest success comes from being like, okay, plan A is not working. Let's go to plan B.
Letting go can be hard, but it can be the key.
Totally. And this next tip is all about having people to support you through all of this.
Yes, community is so important.
Yeah, building a support network.
People who get it.
Mentors, advisors, peers, people who understand how unpredictable and crazy entrepreneurship can be.
Because it can be lonely, right?
Paper lonely.
And when things get tough, you need that support
Yeah, and sometimes you just need to talk it out.
to get some clarity.
Yeah, with someone who's been there, or could just offer a fresh perspective.
And you might need different kinds of support for different things.
Right, like a mentor for strategy, a peer for emotional support.
A financial advisor, maybe a therapist. It takes a village.
It really does.
Hmm?
And that brings us to our last tip,
Okay, shoot.
which is all about taking the time to really think about what happened, reflect, and reassess.
Yeah, because it's not enough to just move on.
No, you got to learn from it.
You got to figure out what went wrong, why, and how to avoid it next time.
Yeah, that's how you actually improve, by learning from your mistakes.
It's that continuous improvement that's what sets people apart.
Totally. It's like turning those experiences, good and bad, into wisdom.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
So those are the 5 core strategies.
My foundation.
Yeah, but the source material also throws in a couple of unconventional ideas.
Oh, I love unconventional. Let's hear it.
Okay, so the first one is to actually celebrate failures.
Celebrate. Like with a party?
Yeah, like a failure party.
That sounds counterintuitive.
I know, right?
But I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, the idea is to create a safe space where you can talk about your failures.
Okay, so it's about destigmatizing it.
Exactly, because if you're not afraid to talk about your mistakes, then you're more likely to take risks, to experiment.
Oh, I see. So it actually encourages innovation.
Yeah, and it shifts the focus from blame to learning.
That's huge, especially in a team setting.
Imagine that. Everyone feels comfortable admitting they messed up and sharing what they learned from it.
That would lead to some serious growth for everyone.
Okay, and the second unconventional tip is to document your journey
Okay, document it how?
in a failure journal.
Like a diary for your mistakes.
Yeah, pretty much. You write down your setbacks, the context, your immediate reactions, and most importantly, the lessons you learned.
So it's like your own personal archive of knowledge.
Exactly, and you can go back and revisit it, learn from it.
It makes you more mindful, more analytical.
Yeah, you're turning those negative experiences into valuable case studies for yourself.
That's really smart. I like that.
So the big takeaway here is that we need to change how we think about failure.
It's not the enemy of success.
It's like a part of it.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah. And if we can embrace those lessons, build resilience, pivot when we need to, lean on our support systems and reflect, we can turn those roadblocks into stepping stones.
And maybe even throw a party or two.
Yes, like a little celebration never hurt.
And as we saw with Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Walt Disney, and Henry Ford, those who can learn from their failures, they're the ones who achieve amazing things.
So for everyone listening, think about your own experiences with failure. How can you apply these principles to your own journey?
Yeah, how can you turn those setbacks into opportunities for growth?
What's one small way you can reframe a recent challenge and see it as a learning experience?
That's something to think about.
That's your homework.
And hey, maybe even throw yourself a little failure party.
Why not?
Until next time.
Thanks for diving in with us.